kind of left themselves cornered, and
what ends up happening is the
it's
orcs.
like almost as if Democrats and Republicans are both evil.
Yeah, which are they not?
That's not a reality.
But yeah, what ends up happening is because we're focused so much on the orcs, um, we feel for one side of the orcs, and then the orcs fighting amongst themselves really becomes the true plot of this film. It's not really the humans; it's the orcs, the good orcs versus the bad orcs, and so he's trying to do more than show the story of the humans and show the story of the orcs. It's more the humans and then the orcs and then the good orcs versus the bad orcs.
Yeah.
So it's three different stories in
Man
one.
versus orc.
Yeah, and so you end up focusing and caring more about the good orcs, and it's just hard to sit there
and bad. It's not really bad orcs. It's just one.
And he turns everybody else bad.
Yeah, well, not bad.
Everybody, they all follow him.
They have no choice. Remember, he can snatch their fucking soul away. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Remember, you said you wouldn't even deal with a crazy super ex-girlfriend or even a witch girlfriend.
Yeah.
Can you imagine dealing with a fucking sugar daddy that can literally put your ass to dust?
Yeah, he in like the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the film, he has all these enslaved Draenei blue creatures, and he's like in one hand movement steals all of their energy. And it's kind of, as Dom's saying, it's kind of hard to not just say, oh, well, I guess I'm following that.
And they try to break away. Now, here's another thing I like. That reminded me a lot of, well, our own, what do you want to call it, dogmas, socioeconomic values and situation, our own history. They have this respected tradition where they fight, right? 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Remember? And the winner is supposed to be left alone, and they have won. They have won the right. And a human plays, and he wins, right? It gets kind of contested, but he legit wins. And then the lead orc character, he loses, but because the evil villain orc cheated, uses his dark magic.
Yeah.
Beyond the power of, helping himself, he, draws energy off the other dude to vampire drain him. And it's like, well, that to me kind of shows like our fair and representative processes of the Department of Justice, the criminal system, the election system, whatever you want to say it is. It's like that universal idea that fair is fair, we should all treat each other well, and in these respected environments, we respect the rules of the game.
Yeah,
right.
But that's another thing, because it's like then it's like, how many of those orcs were like, wait a minute, this is messed up. So it's like, but that's our tradition. So now we have all these traditions, and do we hold to those traditions, or do we change it up? And that's why it's so hard to watch, one orc who's there the whole time, who's by his side, betray him. And it's like, whoa, that's not the tradition. But now we're following this tradition, and you're not. But he still follows all the other traditions. So where do you draw the line between what you believe is right versus what you think you have to do versus,
And then the bottom line is you can snatch your fucking soul out your body.
Yeah.
So that's the gimmick. It's like, okay, I have all these things in my mind, but, he pays the checks.
Yeah.
And he does this, he does that, allows me to breathe. He's become like a god. And it's uncertain if they kill him.
Yeah, that's
Will
why
they all die?
That's why Roger Goodell needs Tom Brady. He needs him.
Oh, damn.
So,
oh, Jesus. Well, we're never going to get booked on a fucking Boston set. Ever. Maybe NFL headquarters will have us out in L.A. if we're fucking lucky. Thanks, Omar, for fucking up 2 big city jobs.
You're welcome.
Jeez, I hope you like playing at local indie film festivals for the rest of your life.
I'm going to be on Channel 5 for the rest of my life.
Welcome to WSTV.
I'm doing the review today on Little Puppet Theater.
Fever 105. That's the best you're going to do. It's a Rockstar video game soundtrack. If you're lucky, you might get promoted to a Blizzard video game soundtrack, and you can voice a dead orc.
But yeah, there's so many like pieces of this film that relate to real life and like our past as a nation and as a world, and all of our different countries going at it.
Yeah, even the gate that they had was like an immigration
Yeah.
the border. It's like the border's open. Run!
Yeah, like go towards the border. Let's find solace. Let's
closed.
find new land, a place for us to thrive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we're meeting up with somebody who already lives there. What do? Take that shit over.
Welcome to capitalism, imperialism.
But I mean, in summation, I think that this film, it had the plot wasn't so easy to grasp in such a short amount of time, and I think that's why it failed. And that's really just, it's a production kind of thing. It's like you can only put so much in so little time, and
like
consumers are only going to watch.
The bread. It's like the focus should have been on the orc characters, not so much the humans. And I felt like when they tried to include so much more, it lacked the depth.
Yeah, you notice how we haven't even really talked anything about what the humans were doing throughout this whole film.
And they're one of the villains, and one of the kids got killed.
Yeah, and it's an important part of the story, but just not yet. It's just not that important.
Now, Paula Patton was sexy as fuck, but she was an orc. So it doesn't, again.
She was half orc, half human.
Yeah, so she spent half her time with the humans, and it was like, okay, I'll watch it because Paula's in this scene. But if she wasn't in this, these scenes are really just kind of droll.
Yeah. So even now, we're talking about it, and we want to go into so much more, but we're already like way past our time. So there's a lot to discuss in this kind of thing, and I mean, you guys talk about it amongst yourselves. Hit us up on email and let us know what else you want us to talk about this film. And we'll talk to you directly through email and through Letterboxd and all that stuff. You can find me at letterboxd.com/theoman.
You can find me, Dom Maldonado, at letterboxd.com/Southern Scholar.
Yeah, and we would love to hear anything you guys have to say about this film, other films, requests, comments, suggestions.
Yep.
You can bash us on Twitter.
Black Twitter.
We have a Twitter in reality that you can hit us up at, and all that jazz. So thank you guys for listening.
Peace.